Look, before we get into the content, it's really important that you guys hit that subscribe button. We're out here every single day working for y'all, trying to hit y'all with the best content. And what motivates us to keep going is people like you. So hit the subscribe button, join the conversation, join the Deuce Gang.
What he said.
Okay, so can you tell me what we are about to be looking at here? For starters, who is Young Miami?
Young Miami. You don't know Young Miami from City Girls.
I have no idea who that is.
City Girl Summer. You don't know City Girl Summer?
I don't even know who the City Girls are.
Hey, man,
I'm
it sounds
assuming
like it's your type of summer.
I'm assuming they're girls from the city. Are they the girls from Sex and the City? Did Carrie Bradshaw start a rap group? Is that what's happening here?
You know what? Yes, sure.
Is this that? Well,
I don't think so, but okay.
Young Miami, who's she dating? She dating old man Diddy?
Well, I don't know. That's a rumor that's going around. That's what people are talking about, right? I don't really know what's going on with her. I don't really keep up with the City Girl Summer too much, but that's the big rumor.
Viewing public, you try to piece this together because I'm confused.
Okay.
So wait a second. Who's that in the cut with her? One more time. That grill right there, there's no mistaking it. That's a Diddy grill.
First of all, whoever that is, they're very happy. They're very happy.
That grill is the size of like, I don't know. That's a Diddy. That's a Diddy grill. That's all I have to say right there. So what is with Diddy and dating the kids?
Wow.
Is he just trying to give back to the neighborhood, give back to the youth? Give back? Is that the goal here? What's the deal with him and the kids?
The gesture was a little aggressive. Diddy's just into what he's into, you know? He's
the gesture was aggressive. Young Miami understands.
Oh wow. Wow.
If anybody understands, Young Miami understands.
Listen, Diddy is a man who has a lot of money. And you know what? A lot of kids. So you think that he would go for somebody who's a little bit older and probably unable to have children or get a vasectomy himself. But nope, he keeps going for these younger girls. And you know what? Young Miami is somebody who likes guys with money. She likes guys who can buy her fancy things. So this pairing, while confusing to a lot of people, makes perfect sense to anybody who knows who these people are. So I don't know. I'm not confused by it. Seems like it's cool. She's drinking Deleon. Good job. Good marketing.
You know, I'm just saying it's funny because we spoke to Google Play shutting down the sugar daddy apps.
Right.
And what did I tell you? I said, well, I guess we said the same thing, which is it ain't going to stop it from happening. But what did I also tell you? I also said that if a guy puts in his time, he's a good guy, takes care of his kids, blah, 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 blah. He gets into his golden years. Why can't he get with somebody's young? And you were like, no, they should find someone older to take care of them. Do you think Young Miami is taking care of Diddy in the way you're suggesting? Cooking, cleaning, making meals, putting the slippers out. Do you think that's what's happening in this relationship from that last video we just seen? Is this what's going on?
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is love? Do you think that these two are possibly
no,
in love?
It's not love. This is a smash thing. But that's what I was trying to tell you about the the sugar daddy app. It's a smash ting. And you were like, no, they shouldn't have smash tings. They should be looking for people close to their own age so they can watch Jeopardy and reminisce about the good old days.
Yeah, but I was talking about regular rich old guys, like normal human rich. Not like billionaire status rich guys. You know what I'm talking about? That's a different level of money.
So only old billionaires get the young tings.
You know what? I could say yes to that. Yes, I can. There's not enough of them for that to be a problem. So yes, once you become a billionaire, you earn the right. It's one of the things that come with the third comma. You earn the right to go out and seek young women who are looking for guys with money. Because you know what? You got tons of it. You could have 3-4 girls at one time.
Well, Young Miami, I want you to know, if you were never told this, You've made your parents proud.
City Girl Summer.
I'm sure they sacrificed a lot for you to grow up, to keep, clothes on your back, food in your tum tum when you were growing up, and you're doing it. You finally did it.
They're super proud of her for sure.
Very
Super
proud. Of you in public, what are your thoughts here, man? Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, but let us know your thoughts on Young Miami and P. Diddy and relationships like this. I think Diddy deserves what he's getting, and you could take that for whatever it is.
Yeah, I was a bit, yeah.
But a lot of these relationships are messy anyways. Again, more people that I don't really know about, but very, very messy. Cuban Doll. Now, Cuban Doll, she broke up with Jay the Youngin after finding some quote gay stuff. So she put on her Twitter
some quote gay stuff.
This is what she said.
I like that.
This is what she said. She said, the real reason me and Jay broke up, I went through his phone and seen gay stuff. Cuban Doll wrote. And then she also wrote, ain't nothing wrong with that. I never said anything because I don't think he's ready to tell y'all. Maybe I'm wrong for even saying this, but it's the honest truth. And then she tweeted later, it's okay, I'm gay also. These were tweets that were, eventually deleted. But I mean, if you go through someone's phone, you're for starters, you're looking for something. You are already looking for something. And if you're looking for something, guess what? You're going to find something.
100%.
So there's that. And second of all, is this okay? Let's just say he really is gay. Is she allowed to do that? Is she allowed to out him?
If the man did not tell her that he was, and she came and she found out about this after a while, you know what I mean? Then I don't know if she has the right to out him, but I'd be pretty pissed. And some females are very petty. Some females are very petty. Like people are very petty.
Whoa. Hold on. You got to pause the brakes there for a second. I just need you to, I'm going to give you an opportunity, bucket and a mop, to clean that up. You don't know if she has the right to out him. Again, to be clear, let's say he's really gay. He's a homosexual and he hasn't made the choice to come out yet. Is it her responsibility not to tell his friends, not to tell his mom and parents, but to tell the entire world? Is it her job to do that? You got the bucket and mop. You can clean it up.
Right. So she said gay stuff. So that's all she said. So I don't know what gay stuff is, but that could be a lot of things.
She said, I broke up with him because I found gay stuff.
Yeah, but she didn't say specifically what it was. She just said gay stuff. So it's not like she went graphic with it. You're talking about, it's not like it was detailed. Were there details?
I never said anything because I don't think he's ready to tell y'all. Maybe I'm wrong for this. So when she says, I don't think he's ready to tell you, she's saying he's gay and I'm not sure if he's ready to tell the world yet. Then she says, oops, I don't even know I should be saying this. So she already knows what. So again, I would ask you, do you think it is it's up to him or her to share that with the world? That's a very personal, intimate tale.
So here's what we're gonna do. When I say something, we're just gonna go with what I say. I appreciate you trying to help me out and dig me out of my grave, or whatever you think I'm digging myself into. But I'm gonna stick to what I said. I'm never gonna change my opinion. We've tried this many times. I appreciate what you're doing. I do. You're trying to help.
So if somebody
at this point, she's either just said what she said, or she's just an angry ex. Either way, it's pettiness.
All right, fair, and it is super petty. But I have to give you this a different parallel here. So if your ex, who you remain friends with, but your ex goes through your phone and finds pictures of you two together, some compromising positions. These are phone. You guys are exes, but these pictures are still in your phone.
Right.
And then she takes your phone and shows it to your existing girlfriend and says, hey, look what he still has in his phone. Look what he still has. Does she have the right to do that?
I mean, geez. The right? I don't know. How do you give somebody the right? Is it right or wrong? Is that what you're asking me, or does she have the right to? Because she has the right to do whatever the hell she feels like.
My words are very literal. Does she have the right to do?
She can do whatever she feels like. She can do whatever she feels like. That's how I feel. If I didn't want the pictures to be found in that situation, then I should have got rid of the pictures. If she had the pictures and we're doing stuff while I'm in a new relationship, then I'm doing bad shit anyways. You know what
You
I
know,
mean? I got caught. Sometimes you just get caught.
you know what
You
I
know?
forgot about you?
What did you forget about me?
You victim blame. I forgot about that. Listen,
Listen.
but listen, viewing public, who's in the wrong here? Cuban Doll or what is this guy's name?
I don't even know these people. That's the thing.
I don't know none of
Yeah,
these
just like
niggas.
these names are just getting more
Jay
and
the
more
young man.
confusing.
Jay the young man. Who's in the wrong here? Jay the young man who might be a closeted homosexual and who is misleading his fans, or Cuban Doll for outing him. We don't know. I think Cuban Doll is in the wrong. He seems to be indifferent. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe to that Deuce Gang and keep the comments clean because, again, if your comment doesn't get posted, it's not us, YouTube guidelines. Look, I know, my guy, that right now you don't have any, but by maybe a year, 2, maybe 3, you might have about 4 or 5 different kids. All right. Now, by 2,
that number went up real fast.
but by year 3, the 2GuysPodcast. It's going to be an empire. We're going to have our fingers into many different things. Money is what I'm getting to here.
Okay, good.
Now,
let's talk it.
Let's just say, for example, your first baby mama, because you're going to have several, but your first one, you guys have a falling out. And, you try to do the right thing. Take care of even the baby mama, but you take care of your kid. But then your kid says some foul shit and continues to say foul and it just compounds over and over and over again. Do you think that it is still your responsibility from the day that child was born until the day they die? They might live to be 80. Do you think it's your responsibility forever to take care of that child?
Is that child my child?
Yes, it's yours.
That is all I need to know. So yes.
Dr. Dre feels different. You know that, right?
I've heard about this. This is wild. This is wild to me. Like I don't know if was there a video of this, or was this like just reported, or I don't even know how this came out.
Ultimately, what ended up happening was she did an interview because she was speaking to the Nicole Young, his ex, and I quote, she said, "I just heard that he has to pay $300,000 a month to help his spouse." Her name is his daughter's name is Latanya, and then she said, "It's embarrassing because people are wondering at me what Nicole has is what my mother should have. I honestly wrote the suggestion and asked him if he could get a house for me and my sister and my kids. He was supposed to send us to college and pay for our health insurance, but he never did. My mother felt he never supported us to the end of what was negotiated. I admire Nicole in a way that she was able to get what she got." This is what his daughter, who he was supporting up until 2020, said about his divorce situation. And since then, lock off.
Right. Well, I mean, listen to this. He was supporting her up until what year you said?
2020.
And this year is what?
2021.
And she's already what?
Yeah, I know, broke, homeless, allegedly homeless. Yeah.
And one other thing. Do you know how old this lady is?
38 years old.
Okay. So I believe through the process of deduction, we've come to a conclusion that she wasted all of her life, and she was probably just eating off of her dad. And he probably had got to a point where he was just sick of it. And he's like, "Yo, you're 38 years old. You got to learn how to take care of yourself." All the evidence shows. And the fact that, I didn't ask you this, but also I heard that she has 4 kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, what are we doing? What are we doing? You had 4 kids. It took less than a year, because we're still in 2021. It took less than a year for you to become homeless, have to ship your kids some other place, and be doing whatever it is that you're doing, DoorDash or whatever it is that she said she was doing for money. Come on. How well could you have been trying in life, or how hard could you have really been trying in life prior to this without using your dad's money?
I mean, it's a good point, but to your original point, you just said if it's your kid, you're taking care of them from birth to death.
Right. I'm different. But you have to understand, every parent has the right to make a decision on their own. So when I say that, I say I can't fault Dr. Dre for feeling the way that he feels. I would act differently,
Yeah.
but this is what he's doing.
I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy on both sides. I feel like Dre should help out, even, and it's not even about the fact that he has the money he has. It's not about that. It's you, nigga. You could be on welfare. It's
Right.
your child. You have to help where you can. You understand? So I think it's crazy on that side. I also think it's crazy on her side. For starters, he cut her off because she made a public statement against him. Cool. How do you feel like you're going to get in his good graces by going public saying all this stuff? That's going to put you in a deeper hole. He's really not going to mess.
She's following the baby's lead almost.
Yeah, like it's really not going to help you out now because now you got him looking crazy out here. You know, but I mean, like I said, man, if it's me, I'm going to take care of my own. And really and truly, if I want to be bitter about it, I could be bitter about it, but I'm going to still hold you down. I'm going to invite you over. You're going to see my big ass house.
Wow.
You can see my big ass house. I'm going to, when we sit down for dinner, my dinner is going to be from some restaurant your broke ass never even heard of before. Your dinner is going to be from, I don't know, what do you want tonight? Swiss Chalet or McDonald's? Your choice. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to help you, but it's going to be a different level.
No. Stop. I don't know how in any of what you just said you heard any help happening right there. Your scenario.
She's eating, isn't she?
Just listen to me. Just lock her off.
She got a roof over her.
No, stop. Just lock her off. You need to just lock her off because what you're doing is way worse. But you're going to have steak and then she's going to be over there having a Spam sandwich. just bread, not even real bread. Not even real bread. Synthetic.
The bread back. You know, the last piece nobody eats.
Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? How are you going to be making it worse on top of it? You're a horrible person.
Yo, viewing public, what are your thoughts here, man? Is Dre out of line for this one? She's 38 years old. I can't.
Like I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say.
That's all you need to say. She's 38 years old. What are your thoughts on this, man? Don't you know what? Smash the like button.
Smash that like button.
Hit the subscribe button. Doses. Look, man.
I'm gonna start doing that a lot more, I think. Smash that like
button. Smash the like button.
Guys, before we get into this video, make sure you do one thing. Smash that like button.
That's the last time he's doing that. Now
we'll see how many likes it gets.
One can't help but think Dr. Dre was quite popular in his heyday when it comes to music. Very influential. NWA, of course. Niggas with attitude. Nigga was right in the name of the group. Now, Justin Bieber, little young buck. I don't even think he was around when NWA was terrorizing America. But even still, NWA's music transcends times. Fuck the police, fuck them. Like classics, period, right? So I have to think to myself, was Justin Bieber an NWA fan? Because I'm very, very sure that NWA gave a lot of white people the confidence to say the N-word, not to a black person, but just in rhyme. Like, you're a fan of the group. You don't want to leave shit out. You want to say nigga. So I have to think that Justin Bieber was a fan of Dr. Dre and NWA because that white boy said nigga a lot. Nigga, like the chainsaw shit, nigga. But anyways, he apologized for this many times. There's videos of him apologizing. Apologies. They could just say sorry all the time. If Justin Bieber meets a black person, be like, sorry, man, for those comments I made when I was a kid. He don't even know. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but he's still so accepted by hip hop and all these people. Like they're down to make songs with him. You know what I mean? Drake put him in his music video and all that. So I don't know if what it is about Bieber that makes these people overlook that type of thing. But I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
he is kind of getting away with a lot these days.
Well, maybe because he's playing the offense. We see everything what's going on today, and we talked about him a lot. The baby, they coming for that nigga. So Bieber's playing the offense. Bieber put out a statement apologizing for saying nigga again. He said, I know that I've apologized for this before, but knowing this is such a sensitive issue, I believe it's important to bring this up to hopefully educate people who may be ignorant to the topic of racism and how hurtful it is. New album coming out September 2021. No, but like, why would he do this? Nobody is even talking about him right now.
So hold on. He said the N-word?
When he was a kid, yes. When he was a kid,
Okay.
there was videos of him on YouTube right now saying the N-word, making nigger jokes. There's this like I can't remember the actual joke because why the hell would I know it? But it has something to do with a chainsaw. And you know when you pull a chainsaw, it goes.
Yeah.
He was like, "Nigga, nigga, 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 nigga." This is
Oh,
Justin
wow.
Bieber.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
But this has been out forever, and he's apologized 1,000 times. Why is he making another statement now, out of nowhere? Nobody's even talking about him or it.
Well, from what I heard, he supported. It was some album that he was supported, some artist that he supported, and then that artist had come out, and a video had surfaced about them saying the N-word.
Right.
And so now they're saying, okay, so Bieber, now you're out here saying the N-word, saying nigga, nigga, nigga before, and here you are supporting artists that are behind the scenes saying it.
I get you.
If this hadn't surfaced, if this video hadn't surfaced, so now we have two closet. I don't know what to call them, but you're just gonna call them people in the closet, like just drop the N-bombs. I don't know what to drop it as. You know what I'm saying? What do you call those people?
I call them kids. He did this when he was a kid. Why are we still holding him to this?
Yeah, but I think this artist that he supported is a grown-ass man, the one that actually
Yeah,
said
but
it,
you don't know everything. I just started potting with you like a year ago. I don't know everything about you. On a podcast recently said you could have almost played basketball professionally. You play basketball for the country. I ain't know that. I'm learning stuff about you every day. You don't know everything about me. There's a lot of stuff you don't know about me that may turn you off from doing a pod.
That's why. How would you? What?
The reason,
you know why that's scary, because you I know you say you don't know a lot about me, but you know enough to know that I have a high tolerance for a lot of things. So the fact that you would say that is hilarious.
But what I'm saying,
that's a sidebar.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is something could come out tomorrow and they be like looking at you crazy. So I understand, like Bieber putting the statement out. I didn't know that story.
Right.
So Bieber putting the statement out, cool, I get it. But Bieber's not gonna know that this guy said some crazy stuff.
And that's the thing. That's the biggest part. It's just like, just because he might have just heard a song on the radio and just really liked the song.
Right.
And then heard the person was coming out with an album and just made the statement. You know what I mean? And if the person came out and said what they said, it's not like they hang out on weekends or anything like that. It depends on their relationship, right? But
exactly,
because he's Justin Bieber, because he's a big star, and because people are so sensitive and they want to look for ways to hate on people, that's what it is. It's the group of people that don't like Justin. They don't believe in him.
I like that. That was good. And let's also not forget, he's got a great publicist. They're like, hey, did you know this shit about this dude that you did the song with? Oh, you didn't? Read this, post this on your Instagram, whatever you kids do, and good to go. This is who the baby should have had work. Anyways, viewing public, what are your thoughts, man? Did you know about the Justin Bieber nigga tape? Go check that shit out, man. And then play it to all your white friends, the female ones especially. Look, speaking about niggas, they're really and truly in America, and I guess different parts of the world too. I guess everywhere. You know what I mean? They really and truly will just look at you, if you look like us, and think they could just get away with anything, don't they? Just anything. If they stole some shit, they'd be like, "Nah, it was him." I guess it was him. Because I mean, look at how he looks. He's him, right? And to the point, there's a black dude who's facing charges after two white men threatened to hang him with a noose. This was in Indiana, right? And his name is Vox Booker, and he accused the two men threatening him with a noose in an attack this happened last year. But now the victim, is facing charges. Now, to be clear, when they approached him, he knocked one of their blocks off, right? So, love that part of the story.
There's that.
The two men were arrested and they were charged with criminal confinement intimidation, and battery. Now, this is a quote from Booker. He says, "I'm not going to back down from this. I'm not just going to let these folks go on about their lives like they didn't victimize me. I'm going to stand up for myself. Once again, there's nothing more American than charging a black man in his own attempted lynching. I wasn't surprised because for the entire year, the special prosecutor has been pressuring me and bullying me at every turn that if I don't let the charges get dismissed, that he was going to charge me." How crazy is that? And
this is crazy.
to his point where he said he's not surprised, neither am I.
This is entitlement on a whole nother, like when you thought like you saw these videos and everything like that, and you saw the level of entitlement, and you're like, yo, it just can't, there's no way it can't get any worse. Here we are. You've asked for this, and here it is. This is a level of entitlement that I have never seen or heard of before. This is crazy. Think about how privileged you have to feel to go up to somebody, attack them, get your ass kicked, and then want to accuse that person because they beat you up, because your attack was a failure.
They were also on private property.
Oh, well, you didn't say that.
They're also on private property.
That changed everything. Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to bring that piece up there and throw that in last minute like that, I did that intentionally, because let's play devil's advocate for a second. I don't like you because of the color of your skin, and you're by yourself, and I'm with my friend, and I just happen to have a noose on me. So now I'm gonna go mess with you. Cool. You deck me. I look like an idiot. Let's move on. But wait, you thought I learned my lesson, but I still don't like you, and I still don't like black people. So how can I get at you? We were on private property. You assaulted me on private property. I'm going to charge you. I'm sorry to say this. These two white racist people probably have a case.
Where do they have a case?
If I go to your home, right? So if I go to your home, excuse me, let me say it differently. If I'm on my property, right, and I'm taunting you, hurling racial insults, threatening your life, whatever I'm doing, but I'm on my property,
right?
And you come to my property to shut me up, and you deck me, you give me what I deserve. I deserved it. I started it, but you came on my property. I have a case. You're trespassing.
Absolutely, because
you assaulted me.
You didn't do anything before. Absolutely. But we're talking about somebody who was getting attacked.
They were not physically.
So these guys were just yelling at him?
Taunting, yes.
And said, grab a noose, and then he just ran over and just punched somebody in their face?
So let's see here. Again, here's what's happening. These guys got charged for criminal confinement, intimidation, and battery. Battery is vague. It didn't say assault and battery. It just says battery. Right. I don't know the legal jargon for that, but it says intimidation and confinement. Intimidation is, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right. You know what confinement is? Confinement is constraining somebody and not like physically not letting them be able to move.
Okay.
And then battery usually involves
assault,
some type of,
and battery involves some sort of physical interaction outside of the restraining someone.
Right.
So would you? So sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just clarifying what the legal jargon for those things were, because those things are all things that involve you having to at least make some form of contact with somebody at some point, right? So for me to sit here and be like, okay, this guy somebody was yelling. Listen, we're black, okay? We live in a world where, although it's surprising to some people, some of the stories that they hear, how people could just be walking down the street and get racial slurs at them, or you could be driving, or it doesn't even matter. It shocks some people. If you're black, that's a regular fucking regular thing.
Regular occurrence.
So you really want me to sit here and believe that there was a black man walking down the street and some white guys were just yelling at him, just screaming racial stuff, and he got so angry that he ran over and punched him in the face, knowing what type of world we live in? There's no way. There's no black man that dumb. The dumbest black man would not do that shit. There's no level of it. because they understand what it is. Okay, at the end of the day, I could probably kick your ass. You're just talking shit. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, if I punch you, if I do something, worse is gonna happen to me than it's gonna happen to you. Everybody knows that.
That's a fact.
So this is a joke because the first lawyer that these two white guys had thought about charging the black guy, but didn't because he probably realized it's fucking ridiculous. They went and got a second lawyer now. The second lawyer is the one who decided, okay, you know what? Let's go charge this guy and see what happens. Now, I don't know why they would do that. That's confusing to me.
So, just for clarification, what I'm picturing after you've broken down the legal jargon side of it. So, viewing public, follow me here. Black guy's going to meet up with the homies. Two white guys with a noose, talk shit, approach said black gentleman, confine him, restrain him, right? Intimidate him, and then we'd have to assume battery, some sort of physical altercation occurred from the white people's side. The black guy defended himself. This is what the picture I'm getting when you break it down.
Self-defense is when you is defending your life when you feel that there is any threat to it. So it doesn't have to always be physical. Most times it does, because it has to be on that level. You have to physically see it. But I mean, there are certain times where just think about it. If I'm surrounded by 10 guys in a circle, and they're all yelling at me, you're telling me if I go and punch them that I'm gonna go to jail? That's what you feel?
Well, this is what they're saying, and the way you break it down now, hell no, these niggas don't have a case. Obviously,
like it's the most ridiculous thing. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And that's why I'm saying it's a level of entitlement that I have never heard of before, to the point where you want to bring something that is literally unprecedented to court. You just want to bring this to court for what? For fun? For jokes? Because you feel like you can't win your actual real case?
But you know, it's funny, and we won't even go into that, but it's funny that these two white people did this because Central Park Karen, remember we talked about Central Park Karen who called the cops on the black. She's doubling down on everything. She's like, yeah, I'm glad I called the cops on the black guy. She's doubling down. It's the same
I heard about that too.
Yeah, it goes back to your sense of to their sense of entitlement. But viewing public, what are your thoughts on this, man? I mean, really and truly, what are you doing? What are you doing? You a brother or sister, and they approaching you with a noose, man. A noose. And you know you could take them both. Are you not Donkey Kong punching these niggas? Leave it in the comments, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join that Deuce gang, bro. Doses.
Hey.
Listen, are you a cartoon person?
I dabble.
You dabble? Okay, me too.
I just wanted to use that word.
I know you did. Listen, I love cartoons. I've been watching cartoons my entire life. And it's funny that our podcast, social commentary, right? We just talk about what's going on and put our own spin on it, right? One of my favorite cartoons that does that is South Park. South Park didn't start like that. They came up with their own concepts, very off the wall. Didn't start like that.
Right.
But it really started to lean in that direction after their movie, Bigger, Louder, Uncut. That first one that came out back in 1999 with Saddam Hussein and all that. And then after that, it was just like, okay, what's happening in the news? We're talking about that. Whatever big story, South Park covered it. And they put their own twist on it. And it's funny because even this last topic we just hit, where the black guy is being charged for his own lynching, but I feel like South Park could do that and do it well, like really, really well. Piss a lot of people off in the process, but do it well. And I say this because I can't believe they're still on the air. New episodes are still happening. They've been on the air since like 98, 99. How is this possible?
They really want to battle the Simpsons. Like this is a battle at this point. It doesn't look like it's gonna stop. It doesn't look like it's gonna stop because they signed some new deals. Some new deals are coming out now, man. This thing is gonna be on TV till what? 2027, it says?
2027. After 25.
I heard about this. It's crazy.
After 25 years of being on Comedy Central, they jumped ship to Viacom. Viacom cut the big check, $900 million, South Park is coming with 14 movies and new episodes. They're going to be on Viacom CBS until 2027. And it's funny because I was talking to somebody random today. I'm like, hey, you watch South Park? He's like, yeah, of course. I stopped watching it though. And they're like, they still make new episodes. I'm like, of course, because they do social commentary. They're never gonna run out of content, ever.
I honestly had no idea that they were even still on TV for real. But I don't have Comedy Central. I don't really watch that channel. And I'm not really into South Park or anything. I like it. I've watched a few episodes. I know the characters and all that stuff. Is Kenny still alive or?
Kenny's still alive.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. They're still killing him all the time, though, right? They're
all
still
the
killing
time.
him. Okay. Good. Okay. So
he dies all the time.
Is my main man Cartman still there? My main man
Cartman is still there, fat and racist as he's ever been.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
But I mean, I guess that's the question. You brought it up before. They're trying to battle the Simpsons. Well, we all know the Simpsons has been around longer than South Park, right? Then of course Family Guy, and then of course, well, South Park. I mean, who's the real tycoon here? If we're talking business, right? So put the other stuff aside, because which one's better? That's a matter of opinion. You can argue with anyone until the cows come home. Right.
That's like arguing religion.
Yeah. So put that aside. Let's talk business. Family Guy, and we don't have to make a case. We're not, we don't have to do that. But just off the top of the head, Family Guy, The Simpsons, South Park.
Well, I mean, let's look at some of the criteria that are required for successful cartoonage, right? So first, you got to have the fans. Which one of those three would you think would have the most amount of fans?
I think you'd need to go a bit deeper when you describe fans. I'd say diehard fans.
I mean, I'm talking about diehard. Yeah, I'm talking about diehard fans. Diehard, loyal fans.
Well, then
watch it every day, got the merch, all that.
I'd have to say Family Guy's out of that conversation.
Right.
I'm sorry. They just are.
They're gone. They're third place for sure.
Yeah. I'd have to go. It's hard, man. But I'd have to say The Simpsons.
I would go The Simpsons just because they've been on TV longer. So it's a longer period of time for them to have fans. And I feel like when South Park came out, The Simpsons had older fans that probably wouldn't have been into South Park that are still alive. So that would be the difference. That time period would be the difference, in my opinion. Right. Let's go to another form of criteria, though. What else do cartoons usually do successful in when you have them? Merchandising. Retail. Branding. There's toys, clothing, Lego, all these other expensive
Simpsons
things.
Already won.
So Simpsons on that one as well.
Bro, they got action figures. They got clothing. Bart Simpson had the freaking Butterfinger.
Right.
Simpsons already won. Simpsons
won.
Let's go to another criteria then. Another big thing for successful cartoons. What does every successful cartoon franchise get? A theme ride or a part in a theme park that is dedicated towards them.
All right.
Now, who wins in that one?
I would have to assume The Simpsons.
Because they're the only one. So
hold on for a second. So Simpsons has this shit by a landslide so far, but let's talk about one other thing here.
Okay, you got something for me? Okay, what criteria?
Yeah, let's talk about one other thing here.
Okay.
Let's talk about relevancy. Can we talk about that? We are in the era of hashtag trending. Can we talk about relevancy?
Currency, right now, let me know what's going on.
Which one is at the tip of people's tongues after talking cartoons? Family Guy, Simpsons, or South Park?
Well, once again, let's just take Family Guy out of this. No offense to Stewie or Brian or any of those guys over there, man. You guys are doing a great job, but you guys are a distant third. You came after. You know what you're doing. But even with that one, I mean, South Park does talk about. First of all, no, you're not gonna do that to me, okay? I let you get your points off. I let you get your points off. You gonna let me get my points off, okay?
All right, fair enough.
So, break your heart. South Park does talk about what's current and what's going on in relevancy. But if I was to be like, if The Simpsons was to come out with a little special or they were to advertise something and South Park was to do the same thing at the same time, me personally, I'd rather go see The Simpsons one after not having watched it as long as I've watched it. So as far as relevancy in my life, if both were to show up with kind of similar things, I would tend to go more towards The Simpsons version.
And I'm leaning more towards South Park. And
no, shut up. Seriously?
And the reason for that, is some people like their chicken boiled, and some people like their chicken deep fried with all the fixins, right?
Oh, wait, you know what?
South Park
and
is much
and there's
more
fixins.
South Park is much more raw, much more controversial, much more to the point. The Simpsons, you can watch The Simpsons with your mom. I can't watch South Park with my mom.
Well, you know what? The boiled chicken for me is coming with macaroni and cheese salad and some potatoes with some gravy. So
Macaroni
that's
and cheese salad that's been left in the sun. Viewing public, what are your thoughts here, man? Are you happy that South Park is, I don't know what this they can't, that's a big deal. 900
yeah,
million to
$900 million. Yeah,
to 2027 is 6
that's
years.
crazy.
Those are some big numbers. Are you happy? Also, to the I guess larger point now, the whole conversation shifted. Which one of these categories that we spoke to, Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, what takes the number one slot for you? Did we miss any categories? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stop killing the homie Kenny, man. Let the nigga live. Let him live, man.
Oh my god.
Yo, speaking of killing people,
Oh, that's okay. All right.
you
All
know
right.
what? You know what? I'm taking that transition away.
That's okay.
Because
wow.
we have so many topics, and now that I think of the topics, that transition is just disrespectful to
Like,
all the people who passed away. So
oh
I'm
my
taking
God.
that pretend I didn't say that trend.
Take the knife out of the back. Oh gosh.
But listen, man, I can't even say it now.
You
Just
take the knife out the
ties
back.
together. We
Just
leave a
edit
nice
that
little
part.
break there. Okay, all right, good. So
And breathe.
so former Minneapolis police officers want to separate the I'm talking about George Floyd. Speaking of kill, okay, all right. Former Minneapolis police officers want to separate trial from Derek Chauvin. Now, they're arguing that the men would likely be unfairly treated if they went to trial alongside Chauvin, who has already been convicted in Floyd's murder. They said that the evidence against Chauvin would skew the jury's judgment and rob them of a fair trial. Now, I'm going to ask, I would like to say a rhetorical question, but you're allowed to have your own opinion. I feel like you already have your answer. But shouldn't they be tied? Like, weren't they there? Like, they were there, right? And they played a role in RIP Mr. Floyd passing away. Why would they be tried separately? And of course, a jury is gonna use some of the evidence, or at least I'll say it, just their viewpoint on you might be a little skewed because, again, you were there. You were a part of it. What the hell are they talking about? Do they make
these
no. You have one thing I'll say about you is you got a pretty good analytical mind, and especially when it comes to legal stuff. So I want you to try to, for me and the viewing public, try to find a reason on their side as to what, if there is one, as to why they should be tried separately from Chauvin. If there's one, do share.
Like how they could or why they would want to be tried separate.
No, we know why they would want to, but how they could. Like how they could. Is this possible?
Well, the only way that it's possible is the crimes that they're being accused of while connected to Derek Chauvin are being charged to separate people. So you can be tied to your own separate trial if you can prove in some way that your charges are your own and your own only and not connected directly to what happened. So they didn't physically kill George Floyd. That's what they have as their only tie. That's really it. They didn't physically kill. They were there, they were present, but their presence alone doesn't allow them to be involved in the crime directly with Derek Chauvin. Now, aiding and abetting is a totally different thing, and it's hard because there's tons of crimes where you will have somebody who is a murderer. They will have killed somebody. Then they'll find somebody whose house they hide at. Both people end up getting caught. One person is charged with aiding and abetting. They usually get charged with the murder as well. And then the other person gets charged with their charges. The reason why they add the murder charge to the aiding and abetting person is because they need information. Right. So they know if they add that charge on, whatever, you give us information, we're going to drop that.
Yeah, of course.
Aiding and abetting, blah, 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 blah. That person usually ends up getting no trial at all for their cooperation, or they end up getting a separate trial, even though they were aiding and abetting in the same way that these cops were as well. So the only difference between George Floyd and the instance I'm giving you is the distance between the crime scene and where the person was.
Thank you.
However, the charge is still the same. And when it comes to law, it's all about the charge and not distance between the people. So that would be the only way. And I'm telling you, that is me pulling for straws right now. That's me sitting in the law library for 10 hours straight trying to find that one case where somebody says
something.
that one line that, okay, this worked for you, boom.
It's gonna work for me too. Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, this is it's real tough. It's real tough because my instant comeback, I don't even know if you want to hear my comeback because it'll crush that long ass argument I came up with. Do you want to hear my comeback?
Go ahead.
The comeback is pretty simple. It's just like, listen, your presence there and the fact that you could have stopped the crime and you chose not to stop the crime.
Thank you.
Kind of negates everything else that allows you to be separate from it.
Preach.
If you were not able to stop the crime and you were there after, or you got there late or whatever, something like that, this would be a totally different case. And I would maybe have a little bit of sympathy for you because I say, you know what, you didn't have the full time to stop it from happening.
I would have more than sympathy.
You're right.
No. I would literally be rooting for you. You weren't even there.
Right. You got there late, whatever it was, but you had well over 9 minutes, longer than that.
Thank you.
Because the 9 minutes was just the time on the neck, right? So
right.
It makes and you're pushing the crowd away. So it's really difficult to separate yourself and say that you weren't part of it when you were physically part of separating and creating an environment that allowed this guy to be murdered very easily. So hope that was clear.
That was crystal. Viewing public, I mean, honestly. And there's an audience out there. There's a group of people out there that think they should be tried separately. Hell, there's a group of people out there that doesn't even think Chauvin should be in jail. Right? They think everything they did was on the up and up.
Yeah, and there's also people who believe that aliens are going to come down and rescue us and take us to heaven. And when I say heaven, I mean the alien heaven, not the real one. I mean the alien heaven, guys.
So basically, there's a plate of food out there for everyone. Which one are you eating off of?
It's called Scientology. Sorry, I'm sorry, I had to finish it. I didn't want to mess up anybody because it's religion. You know, I want to be clear.
Yeah. But look, man, viewing public, what are your thoughts on this? I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Of course, they should be viewed a certain way. My mom always told me, man, you are who you hang out with. Watch who you hang out with. And these people decided to involve themselves in with Chauvin. And I'm not saying they shot pool with each other and shit. I'm just saying while Chauvin was clearly murdering someone, hey, nothing to see here. You're involved. I'm sorry. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Adeuces. You know, again, another artist that I don't really follow too much, but Lil Durk. He's extremely popular. Drake,
he's blown up. He's blown up over the last year.
Yeah, Drake co-signed his ass. Lil Durk
Stimmy package.
Of course. Lil Durk says he will no longer record or perform songs dissing the dead. He was on Twitter and he said, "I'm not mentioning the dead in my songs no more or performing songs with they name in it." Now, have you ever heard the term smoking packs? I'm smoking my ops.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've heard. I don't know. Listen, man, you are not that old to be sounding that old. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, fair point. But,
you know
but like, why? Like, okay, when I was running around stupid, the most disrespectful thing that we would ever say is, "I'm gonna fuck you up." That's it. Like the insult was to the person, the op, as it were, to that person. It was never, "Yo, your mom is a this, your grandma's a this, I'm gonna do this to your sister." We never even thought of approaching those lines. So for me, it might be different for you, but for me, we got to, I'm going to F you up to, I'm going to smoke your dead friend. What the hell is this? I have to be honest with you. Back in my day, sorry, aging myself, don't care.
Once again, not that old to be sounding that old.
Don't care. If somebody even said anything about your mom, it was over. Say anything, it was over. You bring mom into it, it was done.
Right.
It's done. These guys today, they don't even care if you bring mom into it. They're talking about smoking your dead home. How disrespectful could you be? And how is this being normalized? It's in music.
I don't even see the thing about hip hop for me that blows my mind is like, I feel like the more disrespectful you are in the music, the better the music will sell. So it's like with anything else, it's got to have evolution. As you said, there was a time when, saying yo mama and then anything else that followed was an instant beatdown until it became a popular MTV show. And then yo mama became a joke. So now what do these guys have to do? They got to evolve. We got to get worse. We got to figure out how we're going to really hurt these people, because your mama jokes now are funny. So now they come up with your sister or your brother. Then that happens. They get over that. Oh, okay. I don't care if you're talking about my brother or my sister. Da, 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 da. So now we got to make it physical. I'm going to come to your mama's house. I'm going to shoot her in the face. I'm going to take your cousin. I'm going to kill him, chop him up. Then we going to smoke him. All of that type of stuff. These are the things that people do just to sell music. None of these things are really threatening, because you really feel like somebody's about to smoke your dead homie?
Of course not, but it's just the simple fact that you would say something like that. So
right, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, yo, saying something about somebody's mom back in the day was an immediate punch in the face.
Right.
So back in the day, if you said you were going to smoke my dead friend, you're getting shot.
That would have been another level. I don't even think people would have been ready for those type of levels of aggression.
Well, it's almost
because they would have been taken literally. Those things would have been taken literally. I think people also know
that's how I'm taking it when I'm hearing it.
Nobody's taking that shit. Nobody thinks that he's really gonna go smoke somebody's dead homie. I just think you're talking shit and you're trying to be as aggressive and disrespectful as possible to sell records. That's what I feel like. Nobody talks like that in real life. Like, that would be crazy. If I'm standing face to face, imagine me at a club and me and this guy are fighting and we push each other. And normally when those fights happen, what happens? The guy goes, "You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know where I'm from." Imagine somebody coming back and saying, "Yo, I'm gonna chop off your dick, put that in a bong, and toke that shit in your face, nigga." Look at you're dying of laughter.
Well, because I would be
it's
like,
so ridiculous.
I would be like, you're at the wrong club for one. You're giving me that type of insult.
But how many times have you heard niggas think that they're gangster? And I really hope I don't come across the wrong guy who said this before. But like, I'll fuck you in your ass, nigga. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Okay. That's shit talk.
Or even just
literally.
Or even just, I'm gonna fuck your ass up. Like, what? Wait, what? What are you gonna do?
Yes. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Listen, man. I'm trying to say is that it's normalized. Is what I'm saying. It's normal.
Right.
Being normalized. And I think some things we shouldn't get used to. This is not one of those things. Whether or not, obviously, no one's going to dig up your homie and smoke him. But what I'm saying is that is the ultimate disrespect. When somebody passes away, that's a loss. You feel for that. You went through some shit. You cried. You whatever you did, how you handled yourself, how you handled mourning. So whatever they're saying, I'm gonna smoke them, I'm gonna piss on the grave, whatever it is disrespect. You don't bring up the dead. So the fact that is being normalized is just crazy to me. That's the point that I'm trying to make. But hey,
let me point out something. Isn't it crazy how that type of talk is normalized when it's among hip hop? But let's bring that same type of talk towards the LGBT community. Uh-oh. Sensitivity levels are different for different communities, man. It's different out here. I just want to point that out. I'm not attacking the LGBT community. I'm just saying
We could be talking about doing that to each other all day long, and nobody cares.
I also just want to point out one thing about that, because I've seen that argument floating around a lot.
Yes.
Really, really, really quickly, LGBTQ, they get super defensive, as they should. They go on the offense, as they should, but sometimes to a fault, in my opinion. But they go on the offense as well when they feel like they're being offended. Cool. People say, well, why don't we get all up in arms when we're putting out these rap songs talking about shooting each other and smoking our homies and all that shit? Here's the difference. The LGBT community, when there is a song, a movie, a shirt that has something offensive towards their community, they don't buy it. With our community, when we talk all that shit, I'm not talking about the white people, the Asians, and no, I'm talking about me and you. We buy it. So if we stop buying it, then they'll stop saying it. Right? You can't, it's not just about words.
Point.
It's not just about words. Don't support it. If you don't like it so much, don't support it. Anyways, speaking of hip hop, is Donda coming out tomorrow?
Hey, you want to hear a joke? Here, let me tell you a funny thing. So, I don't know who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody, and they were saying that the when the album drops, what Kanye is gonna do, it's just gonna be a blank disc. It's gonna be a blank disc, and they're gonna title the album. He's gonna change it. He's just gonna call it Imagination. And the concept is that you play it, and you just have to imagine all the hit songs that Kanye is gonna make. He said that album is going to drop before Donda.
Where did this person get their information?
I don't know. They could have made it up, but I think it's hilarious. Listen. There were some people there like, really? Like, is this really gonna happen?
No, but I have to be honest. I was thinking the same thing, because I
tried to pass it off like that.
I wouldn't put that past Kanye West.
How crazy it is! Exactly. That's exactly what I said to him. I'm like, you know what the crazy part is? I could see Kanye doing something ridiculous like this. Donda's supposed to drop tomorrow
or today.
Right? Today's supposed to be the listening party. So there's a listening party, his second listening party that he's held. He's also selling tickets for this one. So congratulations. Double up for the same event. I love it, Kanye. Make some Yeezy money. You know what I'm saying? But he's holding a second listening event, and rumors are that these songs that he's playing are totally brand new songs from the first time, like totally different songs. So people are wondering what's going on. He did make a post on his, Instagram or something, with today's date, and then like the loading signal.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Right. So I think that was like his advertisement for his listening party that was going on today. But yeah, it's supposed to drop tomorrow.
Or today. Listen, let me tell you something, Kanye.
Or today, yeah.
Kanye fans, listen, let me tell you something. When he fooled us all with his release date, which was what did he put out? Like one song?
Well, it was a commercial.
Even worse.
Really
I noticed nobody was even mad.
Yeah, they were actually more excited.
Nobody was even mad. So,
it's a song.
Yeah, so I said to myself, well, hold up. Kanye could just do this all year, can he? And here's why. And then when I said that to myself, I'm like, oh, he's just finessing niggas. But then when you just said what you just said about this listening party being new music, great. Do it all year. If you have built up enough music in your archive, in your catalog, unreleased content, where you can sell tickets to a listening party and do it once a month, sell merch, whatever you do. No, but really, really, really think about it. That's not a bad experience, bro. Somebody went to the first listening party with a bag, captured air, and was selling it on eBay for $3,000. People are
Donda air.
Yeah, so people really buy into his brand. So he could do this. It'd be like, great, I can go to a Kanye West listening party, hear music that if he starts advertising these things as I'm going to play you music that's not going to be on the album and that's never going to be heard again on some Wu-Tang One album shit, who's not buying that ticket? You get to be in the same space as Kanye and breathe the same air as him, but then you also get to hear music that nobody else has heard. And by the way, it's been a pandemic. Nobody's gone anywhere, so we get to get outside.
Add that on top of it, yeah, for
He
sure.
can do this all year. And then when the album finally drops, this is all new music.
You honestly want to know what I think it is? I think he messed himself up when he titled this thing Donda. As soon as this guy gave this thing his mother's name, he messed himself up.
Yeah.
Because if this thing drops and it flops, it would be, I'm not saying it's going to, but I'm just saying, you can already tell in his mind, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
It would be the worst thing. Come on. This has to be either his best or one of his best-selling albums of all time in my mind, because only because he named it Donda. So that, I feel like, is the reason why it's taking so long to come out. He's just so indecisive. He's already struggles with making final decisions. So now you add on the pressure of this is going to take even longer. And I'm pretty sure people have heard multiple versions of this album already. And every time they hear it, they say it's incredible. But Kanye, being the perfectionist that he is, it's never good enough. There's always, I could make something newer. I could make something, but what happens if I make a song tomorrow and I like it better than something that's on here? We're never getting Donda.
See this, and thank you for saying that, because it's gonna take quite some time to come out. And here's the reality, dude. I'm sorry. The album may be shit, probably won't be, but it might be shit. But it's still gonna do incredible numbers because there's Kanye West fans. Also, to your point, you don't remember Robin Thicke?
Yeah.
Robin Thicke cheated on his ex. His ex was very attractive. I don't know how she was as a person, obviously, but he cheated on her, and he was doing anything to get her back. He even made an album with her name as the title. The whole album was about I want you back.
I didn't even know that.
His worst selling album to date.
That is the simp move of the century for sure.
But his worst selling album. So yes, Kanye, yes, I understand your concern. But by the way, hit that sub button. But I'm an R&B person. I like my Drew Hill. I like my Casey and JoJo. You know what I'm saying? I like my Keith Sweat. I like my Carl Thomas, my John Legend. There's a bunch that I'm forgetting, but I'll just hit you with a couple. But when it comes to the female R&B artists, my all-time favorite, not including the legends, although she's one in her own right, Aaliyah. Whatever Beyonce is today, whatever Shakira is today, whatever Rihanna is today, add them all up. Aaliyah would have been that and some. She was a triple threat. She was an amazing singer, amazing dancer. She could act. I guess quadruple, because she could model. She could do it all. And then she was tragically taken away from us. R.I.P. There was a story that came out recently that when she was going on the plane, they were headed to Barbados. When she was leaving Barbados, one or the other. But when she was going on the plane, she was unconscious. She was on sleeping pills. Aaliyah's family came out to, I guess, debunk that. They released a statement from her foundation saying, protecting Aaliyah's legacy is and will always be our focus. It began. For 20 years, we have battled behind the scenes, enduring shadowy tactics and deception with unauthorized projects targeting to tarnish. We have always been confused as to why there's such a tendency in causing more pain alongside what we already had to cope with for the rest of our lives. And it's a great point. Like, they really kind of milk her brand a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember that movie they put out on TLC? It was garbage.
Yeah. I didn't even see it. But yeah.
Yeah.
And they put her in any other movie that anybody else's story that they can fit into.
They just slide her on in.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. A lot of times I'll go on my Apple Music, my Spotify. I'm like, I feel like listening to some Aaliyah today. Could never find her for years, ever since streaming. I've always tried. Can't find her. Always got to go on YouTube. Stream it on YouTube. But finally, September of this year, her music will finally be on streaming platforms. Her first album, the self-titled one, Aaliyah, which in my opinion is the best one. That's the album that came out when she passed away. That's going to be the first album on streaming. And by the way, like literally, that is a front to back listen. If you are into R&B, that is a front to back listen. It covers every single aspect of that genre of music. And let's not forget, this was back when Timberland was in his prime. This is Timbo Beats, in my opinion, at his best. Bro, fire album. I'm so excited that it's finally hitting streaming platforms.
Somebody's gotta I always ask questions, right? And my confusion right now is because I always wonder why artists don't put their music on streaming platforms well before. Like, I don't get why they're just doing this for Aaliyah right now. Like, I can't remember the names of other artists, but there's been other artists, and I mean big name artists, who none of their music was on streaming platforms, and then out of nowhere they decided just to drop like a bunch of things of their music all of a sudden. And I don't know why you would hold off on that. Like, do you know? Because I'm honestly really confused.
It's been 20 years since her passing. She passed in 2001, and I don't know. All of her music was owned by Blackground, which was Timbaland's label. You know what I mean? So I honestly have no idea what took them so long to put her music on streaming. Like, people, because if you just want to talk about greed and just making money and exploiting the dead, all right, why isn't the music on streaming platforms? Make your money. You know what I mean? But it was just never there. I don't know. I hope they explain that.
I don't know how many people are involved with taking something from, whatever form it was into like a digital form that could be used, because obviously none of her music was digital.
No.
Right. So it has to be converted. And that's not even hard. We live in 2021. All of that stuff is easy to do. You know what I mean? So I don't know why it would. That's the only thing for me when I heard about this.
Well, go ahead.
Like, I was just saying, first of all, I didn't know that it wasn't on there. Like, I wasn't checking for Aaliyah on there. I just assumed that it was on there. But then when I learned about it, I'm like, there has to be a reason. So there has to be a reason. Somebody knows. Somebody knows.
Well, let's slide this in, because Blackground is connecting with some music group called Empire. Now,
okay.
Now, why do you need to connect with Empire to put the music out? Like, if I own my music, let's just say you signed to me and I own all of your music, it's mine. Why do I need to go link up with that guy to put out something that I own? So that just adds another layer of confusion, because literally in the article, it says Blackground Music is teaming up with Empire, and they're releasing this music on all streaming platforms. Why did you have to link up with another group to put the music out? You own it.
That has to be a money thing. Either it was easier for them to like get distribution to all the sources that they wanted to by using this other company. Like it might have cost them more money to try to do all that stuff by themselves, is what I'm saying.
Right.
And maybe this company already had the relationships. But I mean, even when I say that, I'm playing devil's advocate, because I'm thinking like a normal human being. I call Spotify and I say, hey, Spotify, guess what? I am in charge of Aaliyah's estate, and none of her music is on any of the streaming platforms. Would you like to make a deal so I could put some of her music on your platform?
Done.
You think Spotify is gonna be like, no, you should check Apple.
Yeah, like, who's Aaliyah?
Maybe Apple will do it. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why even in that, when they link up with somebody, I'm trying to find a reason. But even in that, like, I can't see you not being able to do it yourself. But I guess people are just, let's make a little bit of money instead of trying to
let's not even speculate, because the truth is we have no idea. And I'm assuming at some point that information will be released, possibly in something. Share something, let us know, because I've been looking for forever and I always got to go to YouTube. But viewing public, are you excited? I'm excited. I might have a listening party. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. RIP to Aaliyah forever. Literally, in my opinion, one of the best that has ever done music, period, man. So good, so talented, and taken way too soon. Again, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces, and let's throw it up this side. Peace too.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like, please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000, and we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.